Today I'm going to talk about relationships with a person with a disability. Relationships are complicated for two reasons. Relationships are complicated just because they're complicated. But for a person with a disability, relationships become complicated because it's assumed that sometimes the partner of the person with the disability will assume some of the care tasks or the majority of the care tasks for the individual with the disability. And honestly, I say no to that. I didn't get into a relationship with somebody so they can be my 24-hour carer. I got into a relationship because I care about the person and I want to have a life with that person. Relationships have become complicated for me in particular just because they just don't work. I can be a little bit of a bitch when I don't get things done the way I want, and then the person becomes bitter because at the end of the day, that's not what they signed up for. Unfortunately, with the type of funding I get, it becomes difficult because if I express the fact that I'm in a relationship with the funding provider, then they assume that the partner will do 80% of the work and I will lose a portion of my funding. And that doesn't make sense because I don't know if the relationship's gonna stay together. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I've chosen to be very particular and discreet and been very clear of the boundaries that I need to maintain, just because it's just not okay. Now, when I'm in public with somebody and I try to order some food or something like that, often the server will look at the person I'm with, my companion, my spouse, my friend. They'll look at them and they'll go, what does he want? Some of my friends are pretty sarcastic and they will turn around and not acknowledge the server, or they will pretend they speak another language, or they will walk the other way and say, why don't you just ask him? Because people, again, make assumptions that people in chairs or people with disabilities are somehow different. So it just makes it challenging. I've been in a couple of long-term relationships and I obviously want to be with somebody, but it doesn't make sense for my funding perspective. And it's, so at some point I have to make some decisions, but right now it's about my funding, right? It's about the quality of care that I get so that I can maintain the lifestyle I've become accustomed to.